Hey listeners, it's Paul Andriola here. Why not join our community at Small Cap Discoveries, where we offer our members direct access to some of the best microcap investment opportunities available. Our members are getting access to premium microcap financings, research reports, and direct access to management. Sign up today at www.smallcapdiscoveries.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Small Cap Discoveries conference call. Today on our call, we have back CEO Cheryl Grant from Vitality Products. Vitality trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol VPI and on the OTC under VPRIF. The company is currently trading at 10.5 cents with roughly 41.4 million shares outstanding, or about a $4 million market cap. I'd now like to hand it over to Paul Andriola.
Thanks, Trevor. Great to have Cheryl back. Most of you know Vitality. So really what we have Cheryl back here for is for an update. Now, there are a number that probably aren't familiar. So we're going to let Cheryl give sort of a brief summary of what the business does. She's got a presentation to sort of walk us through as well. So why don't we just hand it over to you, Cheryl, and let you go.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I was pleased to be invited back to provide a CEO update on Vitality. The first time that we came forward and spoke with Small Cap Discoveries was in March, April timeframe. And we've since participated in the SNN network presentations in December. So some of you may have seen some of this information, but I'll just provide a bit of an overview of Vitality and walk you through where we are and what's coming up. So Trevor touched on it there, but Vitality trades under the trading symbol VPI on the TSX Venture, TSX.V. Currently have 41.4 million shares outstanding, with over 42% of those, 42% of those are being held by insiders. The market cap right now is actually 4.14, as our prices mentioned is at 10.5 cents. So we've had the highs range approximately 30 cents, 30 cents different over the course of the year. So who's Vitality? Why did we enjoy the first meeting with the group? And it's because Vitality is an emerging leader in the natural health space. So we're very excited to be in a growing space within natural health, and that's supplementation. So we are an award-winning brand. We're made right here in Canada, and I think that's very important for people to know that Canadian brands are seen highly, not only here in Canada, but around the world and internationally. We're a very clean labeled product. Vitality line is fully vegan, and our Vitality Glow line includes collagen. So it's a non-vegan line and part of our differentiator between the two. We appeal heavily to women, the majority of the marketplace. So the supplements market, just to give you an overview, is about $50 billion just in the US annually, and that continues to grow year over year. And COVID also brought an accelerated growth to this industry. So it's very important just to know a few of those facts around Vitality. We are currently sold in Canada. That has been our focus since our revitalization, as well as online, vitality.ca, as well as on marketplaces like amazon.ca. And part of our expansion and coming here today is to talk about our growth into the USA in 2022. So I'll go through just a little quick overview of a few items. Our top selling product is our Power Iron Plus Organic Spirulina. This product really came out into the marketplace, and it's really one of the strongest performers of our line and also against our competitors in the natural health space. And it's really because of how we've blended that formula, and that iron is actually one of the world's largest deficiencies. So you can see the results of the product, and it's testable by the consumer and also the retailer by the return rate of purchase. So really important. This product commands over a 70% gross margin. And just to give you an idea of the market size of Vitality's, that Vitality is kind of coming into here is iron supplementation is over $3 billion a US dollar, a global opportunity, and over 35% of that is in the United States alone. So when I talk about our expansion this year into the US, we are looking at a retail expansion. We had started to step into that when COVID hit, and we have been listed on Amazon.com, but our real focus growing with direct to consumer as well as retail. So if we look at just gaining 1% of the iron marketplace in the US, that's going to equate to over $10 million in sales annually. So we're really excited about this opportunity and where we're headed. One of the reasons we stand out is that in the natural health space, there's basically two forms of supplementation, basically called isolates and then whole foods. And we're coming up the center there. So we're creating a whole new area within the category. And this delivers higher value for the customer in the sense that it provides better dosing, it has better absorption, and the results are there for the customer. So it also intrigues and excites the retailer. And they're one of our key sellers of the product. So we really are coming out against some of the largest competitors in the marketplace. And so we're really going to continue to grow from there. Based on the success of building our land in hand formula, which is really taking the best of nature and science together, like I just showed you, we also innovated and added new product assortment to that, magnesium and chamomile, which targeted families as well as children. And we also introduced the Marine Glow, which is the Vitality Glow Marine Collagens, which is one of the largest growing areas in supplementation. And this is also really the three areas I've just shown you here. The iron, the magnesium and chamomile, as well as the glow, are going to be the products that we're launching into the United States. We have a larger vitamin supplement line here in Canada, but we're going to really streamline for growth in the US. This is also, just to touch on it, these are the products this last year. So in September of 2021, we'd already had the collagen glow with the cranberry in the Canadian marketplace, and we launched 2 additional products in September. These have gained a lot of traction, and that includes the marine collagen with rose, as well as the marine collagen and biotin. So collagen is firming up the skin. Our body stops producing collagen about 25, and then we start to notice the aging effects, whether it be externally from fine lines right to our joints. And so collagens really help replace what our body is no longer producing. And that's why it's really connecting with female customers on a beauty side, as well as for families, for men. You see the marine collagen, the unflavored. So these are becoming extremely popular in the marketplace, and they're looking for higher quality, understanding what they're looking for. So Vitality Glow is really going to meet that opportunity. As I mentioned, these came into the marketplace in September. The Rose Glow quickly sold out. We've been able to replenish that stock. And this product is now even being listed into Whole Foods Canada. It launches later this month into the stores across Canada, same as the marine collagen and biotin. And even on the Hudson Bay marketplace, the Vitality Glow line is currently available online with the Bay as of January of this year. So we're continuing to see the growth of these lines into new retailers. So where are we growing this year? 2021 brought a lot of opportunities and challenges as all businesses went through, but we've really solidified our foundation, and our 2022 priorities continue to be, we've already built our base with the Canadian retailers. We're going to continue to increase volume and market presence in Canada. We've recently brought on 2 new sales representatives, one to represent Ontario and the second to support the BC retailers. They equate for over 60% of all natural health retailers in Canada. We are going to expand into the United States. We're going to be very targeted into our expansion, and that's going to be into the Western states, primarily California, Oregon, and the Pacific coast of Washington state. And we also launched this last year, our direct to customer subscription model late in November timeframe in Canada. And so we'll continue to grow and build that. And we've brought in 2 new digital agencies that have been supporting us on Amazon, as well as the second one on supporting the direct to consumer model, which have been coming into full force in December and through January, some of the higher sales months for supplements in the marketplace. So we're going to continue to focus on sales growth, momentum, and market expansion to really hit the sales opportunity. I talk about USA market expansion. People are like, well, we've talked about that before. What does that look like? Well, the world's coming back together. The largest supplement trade show, if you will, in the world is occurring in Anaheim, California. This show was canceled 2 years ago when we went forward to it. And this year it's relaunching. It is a go. So it starts on March 10th. And we are established there in the supplements hall. Again, some of the largest players in the United States and internationally. So we're very excited about that. Again, I mentioned that West Coast retailer focus. Why West Coast only? We have to be smart about where we're growing into. We only have limited funds, and we also want to see the market grow regionally. And that's been our market strategy in Canada, and we'll be carrying that into the United States. People say to me, how big is the US? Well, there's over 2,300 natural health retailers just in California and over 15,000 in the USA as a whole. Canada doesn't even have a tenth of that. So you can see the opportunity for us, not only in 2022, but if we're successful, then we have quite a bit of opportunity for growth there. And of course, we're going to continue to build on our omni-channel presence. This has been really important to us, and something I've talked a lot about is our growth online, including building out the subscription model. We've been testing that and working on it here in Canada, and that's going to be part of our priority too as we build out into the US. So we really are a growth company in a growth industry. People like to tell me that we punch above our weight, and that's our intention in 2022, is to really bring new opportunities and continue to grow the business. Just to give you a quick view of what the US dietary supplement market looks like, which is where Vitality sits. The market in 2018 in the US was $41 billion. This last year, it actually went already over 50 billion in sales. And so when you keep looking at that ongoing growth of the US, we're really marketing in, these are the key areas of where we're focused. And I go back to what I said earlier, if we are successful at just 1% of iron sales in the US, that's a 10 million. So if we can continue to grow our line and opportunity, we really see the US as a core part of our long-term sales growth. And this is just a visualization for you when I talked about those numbers about how big is the market. Vitality has been playing within the US, or with the movement into the US, but this is now our opportunity to move forward with that. We have always been in the Canadian market, and you can see right there at that largest bar graph, that's that representation of over 15,000 natural health food stores. As I mentioned, in California, just over about 2,300, and you can see there in Canada, quite a difference. So this is going to be a large undertaking, and one that we will be very focused on staying very regionalized and very strategic in our growth into the US. So we are starting with the natural health market by meeting where the retailers, the people come to meet, and that will be in Anaheim in March. Vitality's commitments, I've talked about these previous, our importance for a land in hand model, bringing the best of nature and science together, our commitment to remaining made in Canada, that is so core to our strength and where we intend to continue to grow, our sustainability focus, and of course, our award-winning formulas provide a lot of strength and opportunity for the brand, especially when we move into newer markets. People can already see the strength that we're bringing from a country like Canada. And so we hope that this will be a great opportunity for us as we continue to expand and let people know about Vitality products. Of course, our leadership team, many of you have met myself and seeing me again today, and of course, joined by Doug Grant, who's the Vice President and CFO, as well as our board of directors. More information, including all of our financials, are always available for you on investinvitality.com. And I've also always let the shareholders know, or those interested in investing in Vitality, that I'm always available for conversations. And also I know Paul always has great conversation and questions for me, as well as those who are here today. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Paul.
Great, thanks, Cheryl. Thanks for that update. I want to remind everybody, I'm going to have some questions for Cheryl, but if you've got some questions, and I see some have already lined up, if you've got some questions for Cheryl, just use the chat function, and I'll do my best to get questions answered. Cheryl, we've had investors actually ask us over the last couple of weeks. They've noticed, and we know, they've noticed there's a piece of real estate on your balance sheet, and it's located in the US. Maybe give us a little bit of history as to why it's there, and what you guys intend to do with this
Sure.
piece of real estate there.
Definitely. I always have said to you, Paul, since the first time we've met, and also with investors, Vitality is kind of I always call it a startup with history. So part of that history includes some former investments. The parcel of property in the United States was initially purchased as farmland And that farmland was intended for growing organics. The land has since been rezoned for really urban use. So it's changed the scope of that property. And it's also within another parcel of property. So it's considered an investment on the books. There isn't a current plan in place for it, but it is an asset within the current financials.
Mm-hmm. And maybe how long ago did you purchase it?
That parcel was purchased, I'm going to say at least 15 years ago and prior to my joining the company. And that's why I say Doug's been involved in some of that discussion around it. And some of the shareholders have asked, have we considered selling it and leveraging the funds towards additional opportunities, paying down debt, any of those sorts of things. So there are always options. It's not one that we're currently focused on.
Good. Yeah, good. We sort of covered that, and you sort of answered some of the other questions that came out about that as well. I've got a question from one of the viewers right now. You mentioned clean label. So what do you mean by clean label?
Sure, great question. I actually had that question once before, and it's kind of an industry term that I should probably clarify a little more for people. So it's a very solid question. Clean label is basically when we're talking about, within natural health supplements, we say natural supplements, but supplements can include ingredients that are not natural to the body or that they're additive. So things like coloring, flavor, sugar, types of preservatives. So when you look at a company like Whole Foods, they have basically a long list of ingredients that tell you they're not allowed in this store. And you do find these products, ingredients, and a lot of products that you'll find in mass or online that are not regulated. So to be clean label means that you're carrying the highest quality of premium ingredients, that they're meaning that they are natural and that they're of high quality. So a clean labeled product is really matching the highest standards in the industry.
Perfect. Now, earlier you spent a little bit of time talking about the subscription model that you guys have launched. That was one of the big things that we were interested in when we first came to know the business here. Maybe give us a couple of details in terms of how you want to sort of get the word out, or how you're going to market that that opportunity.
Definitely. One of the biggest things with direct to customer model is, when we need to bring in people to vitality.ca. So, or to Vitality. One of the things I would say is with the direct to customer model, we had to go through a revitalization itself of the website. So if you go to vitality.ca today, you're going to see a very different site than what people saw in March. So that includes video. The subscription model itself has launched within that. And we need to connect with the customer. So how we went about it, first of all, is to take the stages of looking at the website and why it wasn't converting. We're doing a lot of back end work and then functionality and then front end work in terms of the look and feel of it. After you've gotten to that part is, of course, now bringing the customer. So we did have an initial list of customers who purchased from Vitality. So we've continued to reach out to those customers to have them subscribe. And then the second part of that has been really a very heavy targeted marketing effort of digital ads through Google, display ads, done a lot of social ads, and including ramping up our social media, which includes reaching out to ambassadors to post about Vitality, to start inviting them over. And so we've actually seen an increase in first-time buyers on the website as we've been going through that over the last couple of months here, which has been great. We've been building that, and that's the idea, is we need to build and test and grow. And so we've continued to do that, and we've seen the start of the uptake of subscription, so that people were registering for subscription, and then when they were notified of that it was time to fulfill or refulfill their order, we're starting to see those come through right now as people purchase their products in December, January, and now we're seeing them coming back with their 1 month or 2 month fulfillment for those who signed up in the November at the launch time. So the way that we're trying to attract people is, like I say, a mixture of paid media through, like I say, the Google ads, as well as the display ads. And then we're also working on a direct reach out to ambassadors. So we've engaged, as I mentioned, various agencies outside of Vitality to support on that who've had success in the past.
Fantastic. Okay, so back to some of the listener questions here. I've got one here. It says, regarding competition, do you compete with quote unquote Smarty Pants women's vitamin formula in the market? Does that ring a bell?
So yes, I know who Smarty Pants is. Smarty Pants is actually one of the innovators of the gummy vitamin. So they actually came out in the US and they are now they have been in Canada actually for a couple of years now. So yes, I'm familiar with the Smarty Pants. I would say the Smarty Pants appeals to a slightly different demographic than the Vitality buyer. It's a format difference. So, it's probably a similar demographic in terms of their income. They're looking for a more fun formula delivery. So you're looking at a younger customer base. You're looking at people in their 20s and 30s, or people who like to chew on a gummy, which is more like candy, than someone who's taking a tablet. But in terms of the product quality, there are different types of products. And with our multivitamin compared to a Smarty Pant, you're going to have a higher level of product delivery in terms of ingredient dose. And so format versus, the customer is going to weigh the difference. I always have said a gummy is appealing to a person who's looking more for taking it like a candy. I'm going to say a candy, but it's a multivitamin.
Yeah, the way I sort of see it, correct me if I'm wrong, is really like the type of vitamins you're selling is almost like a professional vitamin. Like if somebody who's serious about their health, they're going to be looking at quality over, the sort of the candy
That's
version,
correct.
which
it's the way that you look at the product is marketed. It's like an owl, a cartoon owl winking at you, what I mean? So that's why I said 100%. They've done well in terms of how they've marketed themselves, capturing that marketplace. But like you say, a professional line of vitamins. You're going to find Vitality at a naturopathic office, as well as at the natural health store.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'll leave it there. But yeah, each group's a little different, but we don't follow that same format.
Yeah, no, fully understand. Gotcha. Okay, so there's another question here. Okay, so it's related to the preferred shareholders or preferred shares that are on the balance sheet. It says, who were preferred shareholders of the company? And it says here, I found dividend payments to the preferred shareholders in the last quarterly result. Maybe talk a little bit to that.
Sure. So the preferred shareholders, this is actually, again, going back to the historic, it's on the books. Those were done again in the late 90s. They've been there for a long time. And rather than paying off the preferred shareholders, as well as they're connected to the related parties, a related party to Vitality as an original shareholder, if you will, not an original one, but one of key shareholders there. And so again, it goes back to where do we want to put our financial assets? And there hasn't been a demand on payment. And so the focus has been to continue to grow the business. So take the earnings of the company, as well as any investments made in the company, such as the capital raise that we did in March, April timeframe, and put those directly into the growth of the sales. And so that's why I say those have remained on the books for, again, similar to the farm that you asked about 15 years. And again, they're not something that we've placed as a priority.
Yeah, and it's safe to say, I mean, the preferred shareholders are very friendly to the company.
Yes,
I think it's safe to say that, right?
Yes,
okay, good.
That's why there's also a loan on, I'm being asked about the preferred because there's an attachment to it, but there's also a large loan outstanding as well that led to the development of the new products, the growth of the business to where we are today. And that's, again, a loan that sits on the books without any interest payments on it. So again, very friendly to the company as we continue the growth because the investment is in the long term of Vitality.
Perfect. Okay, so we've got a question about the collagen product. It says, collagen says it derived from marine sources. Is that omega-3 related? And second part of the question is, do you have any omega-3 plans?
Great question. So collagen is actually derived from fish skin primarily. So marine collagen is from the fish skin. There's different types of collagens that are out there in the marketplace. They come mainly from 3 areas. The body naturally produces collagen, as I mentioned, until you're about 25 years of age. And then you can supplement from animal products only. There's no vegan sources of collagen, but it's from beef, pork, chicken, marine collagen. And marine collagen is the closest to our own natural collagen in our skin. So it has the highest level of absorption. Within it is also a lot of amino acids, and those are the building blocks of our body. And so that's one of the reasons why collagens really excite people. Omega-3s are not part of the collagen profile. And we do not currently carry an omega-3 or an omega product in our assortment, but it's one of the products we have looked at and would like to look at for the future as well.
Fantastic. You know what, we sort of run out of questions. I mean, we know the story so well, so I keep, I usually have more questions than this, but I think we've gotten a good update. Cheryl, if there's anything that sort of we've missed or any key message that you want everybody to leave with, what would that be?
Yeah, I think that, I appreciate the fact that we were having a chance to connect again here today and give everyone an update. Obviously, one of our key areas, and I've spoken to that throughout the presentation that was initially put together, was around the growth opportunity for Vitality this year. And that's really where we are going to be continued, is to see our growth online as well as into the natural health retail space. So we really are excited for 2022. I think we've put a couple of rough years of COVID and the impact that's had. So that's why I say we're looking forward to this year. And I just let the shareholders know that we are continuing to be open if there is any questions even after this to reach out to us. But we're excited for 2022 for Vitality.
And it's not coincidental, you've left your contact information on the screen here, but the website, vitality.ca, is that correct?
Right. So the consumer side, if you'd like to go check out any of the products, even test out some of the subscribe and save yourself. You don't have to fulfill an order, but you're always welcome to as well. But you can check out that functionality, start to look for how the website is converting. And like I said, the Invest in Vitality also has a lot of information there, including our financials, board of director, and any details that you may be looking for. Otherwise, like I say, my phone and email are always open to reach out to.
Yes, just
fantastic. That's great. Thank you, Cheryl. We've been speaking with Cheryl Grant, CEO of Vitality Products. The symbol is VPI on the Venture Exchange. Cheryl, as always, thank you for your time, and we look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thanks, Paul. You as well.
Okay. You bet.